Alright, so here we are in a new episode of my concealed carry journey, and today we're going to work on dry fire practice. Instead of waiting until I'm fully extended, I can take the shot right around here. So that's what I'm going to work on. So I got a lot of videos out there talking about dry fire practice. It's super important, and before we get started, let's talk about what does dry fire mean. So you might see that your gun looks like this. You want to make sure that you have no magazine in there. You want to make sure you lock the slide back and you check in there to make sure, is there any brass in there? Now granted you can't see it, but I can see there's no brass in there. I go ahead and send the slide forward, safe direction, pull the trigger. Now we verified this is a dry gun. So rack that slide so you have your trigger reset so you can do some practice. Go ahead and holster it. And what am I going to work on? I'm going to work on drawing and firing one shot. So basically, very deliberate motions. Particularly when you're starting out as a beginner, very deliberate motions. So I pull my garment up high. Good purchase on the gun. Then I call it the 3-step. 1, 2, 3. Super smooth, not worrying about speed right now. Since it's cold outside, it's snowing, the heat just kicked on. Might be a little loud, but here's what I'm doing. Very deliberate. Shirt up high. Good purchase on the gun. 1, 2, 3. The other thing you want to work on is moving. You can do this when you do dry fire practice. How can you do it? Let me show you. Oh, there's a problem. Step fire. Dry fire practice is super important. Number 1, it's free. Number 2, it builds muscle memory. Muscle memory is key to almost everything in life. Build those reps. That way when you go to the range, you have your muscle memory down somewhat. So you can be at your house, you're going to pick a target out. So for instance, I got Graham Combat's rules in the back here. Number 1, no one's coming to save you. Number 2, everything is your responsibility. Number 3, save who needs to be saved. Number 4, kill who needs to be killed. Number 5, always be working, or as I like to call it, always be thinking. Moving. What's going on? So I'll use that as an example. So the A zone is my target. Pick a target. It could be a lantern. Mrs. Burrs and I were just doing this exact same drill, and I was working with her on dry fire, and we were using a lantern in our living room as our, target we were looking to engage. Or we weren't looking to engage it, it was engaging us. So we were defending ourselves and drawing our gun. So just deliberate reps. The other thing I want to work on is I have this habit, and this is because of muscle memory from a long time ago. I had this habit to bring my shoulders up really high and do this. It's over exaggeration. If I do that, then I want to get away from that. So I'm trying to work on when I draw the gun up, keep my shoulders pretty the same, nice and even. So that's the one thing I am working on. Nice fluid, there's no craziness going on, and that way when you get to your full speed. So that's what I'm doing today on my concealed carry journey. You just gotta take it day by day. In a couple days, I'm going to the range with Mrs. Burrs, and we're gonna shoot her new Glock 43X, and I'm gonna go ahead and do some work with my Glock 19 and continue my concealed carry journey. But remember, dry fire practice is key. The other thing a lot of people talk about, I've actually never seen this, is when people draw and they come up and they shoot, I don't know for what reason, they follow it down to the ground. You want to keep that thing up and out, and you are scanning, and you are assessing the situation, and this gun ain't going away until you are 100% sure you're good to go with everything around you. You want to reluctantly holster. There's no reason to holster. There's no reason to quickly holster. There's no reason to come out here, take care of your threat, put your holster away, and there's another threat that's gonna shoot you in your face. Just keep your gun out. There's a lot of different ways you can have your gun in a safe position, up, down. You don't have to point it at someone, but keep it out and keep it engaged until all threats are known to be extinguished. The other thing with this muscle memory is you might actually get people pissed off at the range, because you might go to the range, you might draw your gun and move over a little bit and take a shot, and someone might be like, whoa, why are you so dynamic, dude? They just want to be at the range and just plink. I'm sorry, hold on. They just want to be at the range and they want to plink stuff at the range. That's what they want to do. That's not right. You got a concealed carry permit, train. Dry fire practice. So if you have a concealed carry permit, this right here should not be where you're at when you feel as though you're beyond a beginner. When you feel comfortable carrying your gun as a beginner out in public, you should be at the position of getting a little dynamic, moving around, moving forward. This is the world. This is the world right here, okay? This is not the world. Plink, 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 plink. That's not the world. That's not what it's going to be like when someone comes and tries to shoot you or other ones around you. A very good example is the example of the church shooting. What happened? The guy stood still, had his hand on his gun. I don't know what he was saying to the bad guy who had a shotgun pointing at his face. I don't know, dude, don't do that, I'll shoot you. And then he got shot in the face 3 seconds later. And then the old guy in the back, Big Dick Jack Wilson, or whatever the hell his name is, he had his hand on his gun as well. He just was like frozen for a second. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. At least 3 seconds. You have to get your gun out. If someone's in church, so let's think about this from a thinker. Your gun doesn't keep you safe. Your brain does. Your gun's a tool you use. There's a lot of different tools you can use, but your brain's your number one tool. You're in church. What happens at church? Does anyone bring a gun to church in the intention of bringing it out in the middle of a sermon to show and tell? That doesn't happen. So when someone brings a gun out in church and has it pointed at you, a shotgun, and you have a concealed carry permit, there's a few options you have, in my opinion. Number one, you can try and just burn them down. The gun is already pointed at you. You're not in a convenience store, so it's not like they want your money. No one really goes to church to hold a gun at someone to get money from them. And on top of that, this specific situation, they had their eyes on this guy because he had fake like wig and beard and a bunch of bulky clothing or whatever, and they already had their eye on him. So in my opinion, they should have already been much more ahead of the game than this. That's how long it took. That's how long it took before that guy had his hand on his gun and he got shot. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. That's how long it took. How long does it take you to get your gun out and shoot someone? It takes you a second, maybe 2. That gives you at least a freaking chance. Move. I think he had a pew in front of him. He could have taken his gun out and moved to a lower position and taken the shot, one way or another, taking the shot. There's a lot of different things that could have happened. And someone might be like, hey, you're second guessing a dead guy. No, You have to learn from those situations. That guy's dead. He could be dead for a lot of different reasons. I'm not saying that he was right or wrong. I'm saying there were options, and his option that he took was hand on gun. Either he hasn't practiced drawing the gun, or he has his hand on it thinking that the person's going to be like, oh, this guy's a gun, I'll go away. But I'm sorry, when someone pulls out a 12 gauge shotgun in the middle of church and they're like 5 feet from you, their intentions are not good. So practice on moving a little bit, getting a little loose, practice dry firing. And this is also a really good time to verify your holster is good to go. If you get that thing in a firing position and you're constantly drawing and shooting, bring it back in here, drawing and shooting, and you keep doing that and you don't have a click when the gun's in your holster, you sit down, you do all this shit, and you don't have a click, that's really good practice to see if your holster is good to go. Finally, yes, the front sight on my Glock is painted pink because I like it, and I'm not afraid to be myself. That's why. Actually, it's just because pink, my eyes always pick up pink very quickly. So that's why it's painted pink. And probably deters people from wanting to steal it because it has a pink painted front sight. I don't know. Anyway, that's what we're doing on this episode of Concealed Carry Journey. I'm working on dry fire practice. That's what you should do too. Anytime you got a chance, keep going, get the muscle memory going. It's free, it's easy to do, and if you make a mistake dry fire practicing, it's not a big mistake. So, do good with dry fire practice, then move on to the range if you're a beginner. Until the next episode, later.